For more than 20 years, I've been obsessed with guitars. From playing them, to working on them, to buying and collecting them, I've built quite the collection of awesome custom guitars. Now, I'm turning my passion into a profession by seeking out old beat-up guitars and giving them new life, all while trying to make a profit. I'll be searching everywhere for used gear that I can refret, rewire, repaint, whatever it takes to make it a real shredder. This is Trash to Thrash. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Trash to Thrash. I'm Mark Murray, and today we're going to be continuing where we left off last week. Last week's episode was all about Japanese guitars, and I started working on a made in Japan Jackson Kelly. It was in bad shape, but we got it stripped, sanded, repaired, primed, and ready for paint. I even got the headstock painted, and it turned out really cool using Crackle paint. Be sure to go back and watch last week's episode to learn more about Crackle and see me do all that work to this guitar. Now the body's ready to be painted, so you paint your colors first that go on as a base. Then you paint on the black Crackle paint. As per the instructions, I did 3 coats of base color, 15 minutes apart each, and then 45 minutes later I sprayed on the Crackle paint. The look I'm going for on this guitar is kind of a cracked lava look. So as you can see, I'm spraying red towards the center of the guitar and bursting it out to an orange on the edges of the guitar. Now when I throw the Crackle paint on top of this, it's going to burst with red and orange back and forth and kind of have a flowing lava effect, I'm hoping. It's kind of an experiment, so I'm excited to see how it turns out. I love trying crazy things like this. This here is the first coat of color that I'm putting on the guitar. And now here's the second coat. The line down the center doesn't need to be perfectly precise or symmetrical because the Crackle is going to come in and draw your eye away from those lines. The more random, the better it might actually look. This is the third coat going on here. And this is what the colors are going to look like underneath the Crackle. So I'm hoping that it's going to look like some cracked molten lava, burnt crust of the earth. So far I think it looks good. Next up is to spray some Crackle on it. The stuff works like magic. You simply spray it on, and the heavier you lay it on, the thicker the lines of Crackle will be. I'm still getting used to using this stuff. From what I hear, you have to spray it on so thick that it's just about to run, which makes me super nervous, and I haven't quite got it down exactly how I'm hoping. But this is the first real test, so we'll see if I can lay it on thick enough on this guitar without going overboard. I've talked to a few other guitar painters who have given me some tips, and they all have their own methods and little tricks and different processes. So I've done some experimenting on some testers and found a couple things that are working better than others. A few of those painters told me they didn't think I was going to be able to achieve large cracking out of a rattle can. So in the near future, I'm probably going to start firing up the compressor and use the HVLP gun to spray my Crackle. When you look at the back of the guitar, you can see that where I painted it red had a much tighter Crackle pattern, whereas the orange had a larger Crackle pattern, but still not quite as large as I was going for. All in all, I think it turned out really cool. I'm happy with it. It really has a twisted, wicked, evil look. The crackling leaves a weird texture on the guitar, so you need to lay on a lot of clear coat to cover that up and make it smooth and clean. The next step is to spray some clear coat on it. I want the clear coat to be really thick, so I sprayed on 3 coats the first day, let it sit for about a week to cure, and then I did 3 more coats. And now I'm going to let it sit for about a week to cure, and then I'll start level sanding and polishing. It's possible I could have sprayed all 6 coats in one day, but when you spray too much paint on top of itself in one day, the bottom coats sometimes don't fully dry, and then you end up with a really soft and brittle paint job. So the next guitar I'm going to be working on is this Ibanez RG series sent in by a viewer of the show, Ben, who really liked a lot of the Splatter paint jobs I've done. This RG350 was Ben's first guitar that he got when he was 16 years old, around 2010. Ben had a few musician friends who encouraged him to get a guitar, so the hunt was on to find him the right guitar. Ben and his friends went out to all the local guitar shops and they ended up finding this guitar. He was into Metallica and Iron Maiden, so he needed something that was going to be good for metal. Then around 2012, he went off to college, and he had acquired a couple other guitars by then, so this one stayed home at his parents' house. It stayed there till 2021, when Ben saw Trash to Thrash and thought that I might be the perfect one to resurrect this guitar. So we started talking, came up with a game plan, and he sent it in. We're going to do new pickups in this one. We're going to sand it down, refinish it, refinish the headstock, so you could sand the headstock on this one. This is the one I was telling you is orange with purple splatter on it.
Oh man.
So this thing is going to be super crazy. It's going to get a kill switch, of course. Every guitar, of course, gets a kill switch. Going to redo the logo on the headstock, so we'll have a new Ibanez logo up there.
The crazy paint is going to look really cool with these like staggered shark fin inlays. That's going to look really cool.
It's like Ibanez version of a shark fin inlay. We're going to do push-pulls. This is actually going to get Seymour Duncan pickups, Sentient and Pegasus, which is like a modern set. And then we're going to go with a single coil in the middle, JB Jr., which it's not even really a single coil. It's actually a humbucker, but it's in a single coil size housing, so it'll drop right in there, look like a single coil, but it'll actually be a humbucker. Gonna do push-pull pots, so you can use single coil tones. You'll still be able to get all the single coil tones out of these ones, and we're gonna keep the bridge on this one. It's got a factory Ibanez bridge. Now that Ryan has the game plan, he'll get started by disassembling the guitar and then sanding it down for me, including the headstock. With any 10-year-old guitar, of course, there's gonna be a ding or a chip here or there, so I filled all those in and sanded it level. Overall, this one was in fine shape. It only needed a couple small repairs. Before painting, of course, wipe the body down with some alcohol to remove any contaminants or oils or anything that's going to reject paint. Then it's time to mount it on a stick so I can go put it in my jig and give it a spray. Now it's nice, clean, fully leveled, and it's time to enter the paint booth. The plan with this guitar is to go with a bright orange. The owner of this guitar was a big fan of the Blood Shadow Haxon that I did on the second episode of this show. So we decided to go down that road, but not with the exact same game plan. Originally we were going to throw some red on this guitar too, but after doing the orange I sent the pictures to Ben, and we both agreed that it looked pretty insane in orange. In bright light it actually gives off a reddish glow. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below if we should have added the red or left it orange like this. Of course we need to do the headstock too. This is the first coat going on. I'll be replacing the Ibanez logo there and then doing the splatter coat. This is about a week later. I put the Ibanez decal on the headstock. To the top left you can see on my phone I have an Ibanez headstock blown up real big. So I'm kind of looking at that for my placement, and also I put the truss rod cover on so I know about how it's going to line up with that and gives me a better idea of how to place this. This is why you gotta wait a few days. Make sure you don't peel your paint off. Comes out super clean. Looks really nice. And of course, now it's time to splatter it all up. If you've been following the show, you know I've been on a quest to chisel my guitar collection down from around 50 to like maybe 20 guitars. So this week I actually got rid of a couple more. I found a buyer for the white blood splatter Rhodes that I built a couple episodes back. Then in one weekend I found a buyer for the Alien Blood Rhodes and the Tiger Rhodes. I also just recently finished this Wolfgang relic for my friend Eduardo. This guitar turned out great. The relicing looks great on it, the paint looks awesome. I do a lot of Frankenstrats and Wolfgangs for people, and this one's one of my favorite ones I've ever done. He also had me put in an Iron Age kill switch with the red LED. I also got a great deal on a future project that's going to be awesome. Alright, I just finished spraying some guitars out. This morning I was over on Facebook Marketplace, which is a place a lot of people have told me they've got great deals on guitars at. So this morning, Sunday morning, I was on there checking out and seeing what's available, what's out there, and I found a great deal on a 1998 LTD M100. And I've got the exact same guitar, so I know it's a great guitar. Hit the guy up, he was asking 200, and I asked him if he would take 150. Come pick it up, I got cash, it can be out of your hands today. And he said, yeah, come grab it. So just pulled up to the place, and gonna see if it's all that I'm hoping for it to be. Hopefully this deal isn't too good to be true. Let's go find out. Of course, if you're gonna meet up with a stranger, mask up, don't be crazy. Okay, I just checked this thing out with him. Let me show you what we got. Got the ESP hard shell case with it. Look at this beauty. It's a 1998 or 99, one of the two, LTD M2. So these LTDs were great guitars. They're made in Korea. This one's got an alder body with a maple neck, rosewood fretboard, and it's in really nice condition. Note that the 12th fret doesn't have the model number, it just says LTD. I know these things well because I actually already own one. I bought one brand new in 1998, and it's been one of my favorite guitars I've ever owned. Yeah, it's got the same bridge as mine. Wow, this is a trip. Beautiful condition, wow. This guy took really good care of it. So yeah, 150 bucks, what a killer deal. Wonder if there's anything in this pouch. I didn't bother to look. I put my pick in there. There's a wrench. Okay, so it didn't come with the trem bar, but that's fine. Can get one of those elsewhere. Beautiful case too, man, what a deal. I've got some ideas for this one already. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching the episode. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit that bell to be notified every time a new video comes out, hit the like button for this video, and let me know what you thought about the episode by leaving a comment down below. If you want to help out the show, let your friends know about the show, tag them in the social media posts, and tell them they can go to guitarguts.tv to watch the episode. Post it on your social media and your Instagram stories. If you want your guitar featured on the show, email me, mark@guitarguts.com, and I'll write you back. We'll go over a game plan for what you want done, and we'll get your guitar here on the show. If you want to buy one of the guitars that I'm building as a shop custom here, then check out guitarguts.com. And there's a link right at the top for guitars for sale. There's actually a couple guitars in there right now, so go check that out if you're interested in buying one of my guitars. If you haven't watched all the episodes yet, go back and watch the older ones, and by this point in the video there should be a link to a playlist to all the episodes of Trash to Thrash in order. So check that out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.